Ellen McKenna is from Donaghmore, County Tyrone. The Tyrone influx is sort of my fault this time, but more about that another time. Anyway, Ellen describes herself as a late starter, writing her first poem 8 years ago. She is now making a tentative foray into prose, testing out her belief that it is never too late to try something new. She's a new reader at Flash Fiction Armagh, so please give her a big welcome. Ellen is reading Cast Adrift.
Hi. Cast Adrift. Anna stood at the sink washing up after breakfast. The radio in the corner quietly blathered on about Brexit. She was sick of the whole thing. First one side, then the other, moaning and carping, never seeming to get anywhere. She smiled ruthfully, a bit like her own situation if she were truthful. It was a crisp autumn morning. Her favourite goldfinches were gathered at the bird feeders, bright colours flashing in the sunlight as they jostled for position. She wondered if she would get an hour to do a bit of tidying outside, maybe a quick chat with Brian next door. Sometimes, since she'd given up her part-time job at Tesco, the urge to get out and meet people was a physical pain, the yearning for human contact, to have a normal conversation. She tried so hard to look at the situation objectively, but emotion always won out. That's what makes us human, she mused. Sighing, she dried the dishes and wiped down the tops, mentally chiding herself for delaying the next step. Taking a deep breath, Anna moved from the kitchen and stood at the door of the living room. The open fire gave off a cosy warmth, but the fireguard was down again, and she could see hot cinders in the hearth. The man stood perfectly still, gazing out at nothing. He had been there for at least half an hour, probably since she'd gone into the kitchen. She coughed to make him aware of her presence. He turned to focus on her face. "Who are you?" he asked. "Anna, your daughter." "Where do you live?" The familiar note of alarm crept into his voice. "I live here with you, Dad," she said, for the umpteenth time. "I don't live here," he replied. "You should take me home." He turned back to the window, then grew suddenly animated. "Martha will be back from the market soon if the bus is on time. She'll be tired, ready for a cuppa." Anna bit back her response. Her mother had been dead 6 years, but there was no point in repeating that fact yet again. Instead, she crossed to the old cassette player and slipped a tape in. "Do you know that one, Daddy?" she asked, as the strains of Blue Moon filled the silence. "Yes," he said, as recognition flashed into his eyes. "Martha and I might go dancing at the weekend. That's her favourite tune." He began to hum along. "Would you like to dance now?" Anna asked. He nodded, and she gently took his gnarled hands in hers as they slowly circled the room. A rush of raw emotion engulfed her as she watched a smile spread across her father's face. She swallowed hard, reminding herself to be thankful for such moments. The music stopped, the smile vanished, and he returned to his watch by the window. Anna sat and picked up a paper, hoping for a few minutes of calm. Then she felt him looking at her. "Who are you?" he asked. Going to stand beside him, Anna put an arm round his stooped shoulders. "Oh, Dad," she thought, "we're both drifting on a familiar sea, but neither of us can see the shore." And so she trod the usual path to the kitchen and put the kettle on again. Thank you.